Just tell me and I'll turn it. I was gonna forget. Can you hand me that packet?
I was looking forward to that. That's why I came. I want to listen to you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome.
Let's go sit in the camera.
I'm Tom Perrier, Chairman of the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors.
I lost that.
Good morning. Please stand and join me in the place of the flag. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good morning again, and thank you for joining us today. Your Chamber of Commerce continues to provide great opportunities for making valuable business connections. Next week, Wednesday, April 27th, you're invited to attend our very first networking mixer of 2022. It's our annual Mac Fitness Mixer in the Kingston Plaza, which we postponed in January due to COVID. This will be a great time to reestablish old relationships and build new ones. The Mac Mixer will include complimentary refreshments from Simonis Trattoria, Keegan Ales, and JK's Wine and Liquor. Don't miss this chance to see how Mac Fitness can help you get healthy in 2022, excuse me. You look younger. Trainers will be available to give tours and answer your questions, and of course, there will be plenty of complimentary refreshments, food, and drink for all. There's no charge for chamber members and prospective members to attend, but reservations are required. Mixers are open to chamber members 21 years of age and older. Our mixer sponsor at Mac Fitness April 27th is the Bank of Greene County. On May 12th, join us for a business card exchange at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Lake Katrina. The no-cost networking event gives chamber members the opportunity to promote their business in a small, casual setting. All chamber members will have 2 to 3 minutes to talk about the business and hand out business cards. Space is limited and reservations are required. Again, that's May 12th at the Holiday Inn Express. Thanks to our sponsor, Hudson Valley Credit Union. Then on May 17th, you're invited to join us at the YMCA of Kingston in Ulster County for another great networking mixer. You're invited to see the results of the $3.6 million in recent investments the YMCA has undergone, including a brand new pool, updated men's and women's locker rooms, finished landscaping, and a new membership kiosk. In addition, the gym floors have all been redone and now feature pickleball, racquetball, and handball lines. There's new energy-efficient lighting, and they have installed new air purification systems in wellness areas and group exercise spaces. The event will be held outdoors under a tent right outside the main entrance, where members can network with other chamber members. Complimentary refreshments will be provided. We hope to see you May 17th at the YMCA Chamber Mixer, sponsored by Sunshine Smiles. Our next monthly breakfast meeting will take place Thursday, May 26th, 7:30 to 9, at the venue uptown at Best Western Plus in Kingston. Our meeting will commemorate the 150th anniversary of the merger of the villages of Kingston, Rondout, and Wilbur to form the city of Kingston. Guest speakers include Kingston Mayor Steve Noble, Ulster County Clerk Nina Posterbeck, and Kingston historian and county archivist Taylor Bruck. 2022 marks the 150th anniversary of the history merger of the three villages. The City of Kingston and Ulster County Clerk's Office are planning a year of exhibits, reenactments, lectures, conferences, and much more to help commemorate this event. Join us May 26th to learn more about this important date in our local history. Our breakfast sponsor is the Mid-Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. For these and all chamber events, you can find more information and register at ulsterchamber.org. And now for the rest of our program this morning, here's our president, Lauren Todd.
Thank you. Good morning, Saugerties. Look at you. Wow. I am so happy to see so many people out in public again, and we are so happy that we are back at Diamond Mills. We have great memories of our times here. Shout out to Tom and Tommy Strazzeri, overseeing everything from back there. A couple of dates stick in memory. November of 2011, we had our chamber mixer here, and about 400 people showed up because they had just opened. And in fact, I'm not even sure you were ready to open yet, but we were here anyway. And if you've been to our mixers, it's 6 o'clock. We stop and we do our welcoming announcements, and we call for Tom to come up. And Tom, where's Tom? Well, Tom comes in from the parking lot where he was parking cars in a pouring rain, and he was. But that's the work ethic that we have seen and grown to appreciate and love from Tom and his team and his family. So that was our first date. The other was February 27th of 2020. It was our last mixer, which was here before COVID struck. So we had 400 people in the tavern having a wonderful time. Little did we know that it's going to be a couple of years before we got back together again and doing a mixer. But and the other thing is, if you have seen this room, I love it for banquets and weddings and so forth, but they transform this for a Buy Local Expo every year, and it's got a whole new feel and vibe, and it's really, really exciting. So what a great venue, what a great place for us to hold a number of our events. So Tom and your family and your staff, thank you for all you do and have done. In a couple of minutes, but I do want to bring folks up to date. The Chamber Foundation is completing another class of our amazing ULDI this coming June. It also means another class is going to be forming starting in the summertime. So we thought it'd be a good time to get an update on what's happening with the Chamber Foundation and with our leadership class, and our executive director is with us today, Ingrid Kulik. Ingrid?
Good morning, everyone. So our Leadership Ulster program is now in its 30th year. 30 years of producing leaders in the area. I've been honored to have worked with the Chamber for 8 years of those 30, and I can tell you that if our future is in the hands of the folks that graduate from this program, we are in very good hands. They are great people. So to celebrate our 30th, we're going to have a 30th reunion on Monday, September 19th at the 12th Skill Golf Club. You'll see information coming out on that. We'll have an evening reception and dinner, and the event also includes a day of golf for those who are interested. We'll also be inducting our 2 new Hall of Fame honorees, and we are proud to announce them as Jess Davis, who graduated in 2016 from the program. And Joe Bikert, who graduated in 2009. We'll be having a silent auction at the event, and that supports our Leadership Ulster Scholarship Fund. Then our class of 2022, which has 18 participants, and I know I say this every year, but it is an awesome class, just like Ward said. They've done 2 class projects. One was the Valentine raffle, which I tell you raised the bar on the fundraising. They raised $6,000 for our scholarship fund. And the other project that they've done is the Youth Leadership and Career Development Program, helping us do that. Doing the Youth Leadership Summit in March with 18 high school students in grades 9 through 12 from 6 different high schools. And we are preparing now for the Ulster County Business and Nonprofit tours with these students. So the graduation for our 30th class is going to be held on Monday, June 19th, right here at Diamond Mills in this room. And that's our Ulster Leadership Celebration. We'll graduate the 18 students, have a silent auction. Tickets are already available on sale on the Foundation's website at ulsterchamberfoundation.org. Leadership Ulster, by the way, is a 9-month program to develop and hone leadership skills in new and emerging leaders. We've got over 450 graduates out there from the 30 years. Many of them are in this room. So if you are a Leadership Ulster graduate, would you stand up today? Stand up. Very nice. So our program this fall kicks off in September with a 2-day retreat at the wonderful Emerson Resort and Spa. 9 months of bi-weekly speakers and panels are featured throughout the time period. And through that, the folks meet over 40 different leaders from Ulster County, build a network with them, introduce them with speakerships and panels. And it's an opportunity for them to network in a little bit with the leaders of the county. The in-person program also has a hybrid offered whenever possible. We do the DISC profile, and we really encourage each participant to hone and find out and develop their own leadership skill and become confident in that skill. So the experiences in practice happen through the class project, the introduction of the speakers, the moderation of the panels, and the youth leadership program management. Applications are now being accepted now through August 1st, so if you've got someone who's an upcoming or emerging leader and you'd like to help them build a little confidence and a little knowledge in their style, send them to Leadership Ulster. It's well worth it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ingrid. Thanks. You'll look around and see with us today a number of brand new members of the Chamber. We love welcoming them to our events. Our Director of Membership, Jess Davis, will introduce them to you right now. Jess Davis. Good morning.
Good morning. Look at all of your faces. Thank you for being here with us this morning. I'm really excited to introduce the following people to you, and I don't know if I've seen all of them come in, but I'm going to start off with Advanced Disaster Recovery. Is Richard or Angelo here? Okay, so that's environmental remediation. I didn't think I saw them, but sometimes people slip in. So they aren't here with us this morning, but they're new to the Chamber. Angelo and Richard, we welcome them. Next is Crane Acupuncture and Holistic Medicine and Health Services out of the Kingston area. Jennifer Maida Crane is with us. Jennifer, if you could come on up and just say a few quick words.
Good morning. I wasn't actually expecting to speak in front of so many people today. My name is Jennifer Crane. I'm a doctor of Chinese medicine. I just opened a practice in Kingston, a new clinic with full herbal pharmacy. I specialize in treating autoimmune disease and wellness prevention. A lot of people know about acupuncture for pain management, but really I specialize in internal medicine as well as mental health. So that's what I offer, and very happy to be here.
Next we have Hudson Valley Ambition, Ryan Nacarado, Health and Fitness. Come on up, Ryan. Let's see how fast you can get here. Show us your fitness.
Okay. It's a good thing I went to the gym and stretched out this morning. Pumped to hear me. So, good morning, everybody. I'm Ryan Nacarado from Hudson Valley Ambition. It's great to finally join and be a member of the Chamber of Commerce here. I was born and raised in Kingston, New York. We all know the pandemic hit in 2020. By the way, I'll try to keep this brief. My campers say I'm pretty long-winded, so I apologize in advance. So the pandemic hit and COVID shut everything down, as we know. So I'm like, wow, what about our physical health, but also mental health as well? Something doesn't seem right. So that's how HVA was born. It's an outdoor fitness boot camp. We take all team members who want to get better, work together for a common goal, that they can help in making progress towards your health and fitness goals. And I'm super excited, to be here and to be a part of this. We're also expanding our offerings to online coaching, personal one-to-one training. We are mobile, so we go to different parks around the city of Kingston. We can come to your house, everything and anything. We're here to support all of your health, fitness, and wellness goals. We'll also be launching a business and corporate team building event this summer, as well as workouts for sports teams as well. However, our outdoor boot camp is our main kind of offering in the community in the city of Kingston, and it does run 12 months out of the year outdoors. So if you want to see some crazy stuff, look us up. Hudson Valley and Bishop, we have a website. We are on social media, Instagram and Facebook as well. Hope that wasn't too long. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Ryan. Next, all the way from Albany this morning, we have Chad Finney with P&J Technology Partners. Chad, come on up.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chad Finney. I'm the Market Development Manager for P&J Technology Partners. Essentially, what we do is help guide organizations in making good technology decisions. For small to medium-sized businesses, we take IT support and IT strategy off our clients' plates. For larger organizations, we help augment their staff. Definitely grateful, that I've been in an industry that has thrived in the pandemic. Other than the constant supply chain issues, we've had a chance to expand. So happy to be joining the Ulster Chamber and looking forward to building some strong relationships. So good morning and thanks everyone.
We also have a large crew from St. Catherine's Center for Children in Kingston. We have a ribbon cutting there tomorrow morning. And I'm going to ask Michelle Palaio O'Hare to come up and say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. I'm new, so I have to have a cheat sheet. I'm sorry. So, St. Catherine's is located in Albany, New York, but we have a satellite center, which is located, as Jess said, on Albany Avenue, which we'll have our ribbon cutting tomorrow. And we have a comprehensive range of services for child, community-based, and homeless services to children and families and adults in the capital region and the Hudson Valley, including therapeutic, residential, and educational services, foster and kinship care programs, community wraparound service, and homeless outreach, among others. In Ulster County, we offer kinship program and our therapeutic programs. But we are here to serve the most vulnerable. So if there's a need in Ulster County that we can assist you with, please look at our website. We'd love to collaborate and partner with any other not-for-profit in the area. And as they said, we have a staff that is located down here that they'd love to work with you. We're always looking for people to volunteer. So thank you very much. Have a great day.
Next, we want to welcome Ulster Strong, and Dan Ahaus is here, but Tony Marmo will be speaking on behalf of Ulster Strong. We've got a couple of them in the building.
We do. Well, good morning, Chamber members, or should I say buongiorno, right? So Ulster Strong was put together to provide the counterbalance to every no person that comes out against projects, right? And this is really perfect timing for this kind of joining of Ulster Strong, the Ulster Strong joining the Chamber. This is a group of about 15 or 20 concerned business people who are going to communicate a pro-business message, get emails out, get newsletters out about projects such as the Winston Farm to help this community, Ulster County, grow in a smart way. And there should be a huge round of applause for that. For the board, the executive committees, Dan Ahaus, myself, Stu Myers, Mike Oates from Hudson Valley Economic Development Corporation, of which we are a subsidiary of, right? And Riley Green is in the room here somewhere, does our marketing and PR. So please check out ulsterstrong.com. It's a group, folks, that we need. We've supported the Kingstonian. We're already on record supporting Winston Farm and any other project that really Ulster County needs. Smart growth, development, jobs, and so we're happy to be part of the Chamber. And we love the Chamber, by the way. We love everybody in the Chamber. Thank you very much.
Tony really does love the Chamber. He's always reaching out and bringing on new members and helping us grow. So welcome to our family, Ulster Strong. We do have Upriver Studios here with us this morning. And I'm going to ask Shoshana Gray to come up and just say a few words.
Good morning, I'm Shoshana Gray. I'm the business director of Upriver Studios. We are a large-scale, woman-owned, full-service film and television soundstage right here in Saugerties. We're on Thompson's Road. And we are very much a startup. We launched last year. Our first client was HBO Max's Pretty Little Liars. You may have seen them around town, their trucks. Our founders are Mary Stuart Masterson and Beth Davenport. And prior to founding Upriver, they founded Stockade Works in 2016, which is a nonprofit aimed and targeted at creating career opportunities, pathways to employment, mentorship, and job readiness for local folks in the film and television industry. Together, Stockade Works and Upriver, our whole aim and mission is to increase the level of film and television production in the Hudson Valley and here in Ulster County. And we want to also land these productions in a way that maximizes the benefit to local folks, to our towns, and to our communities, and to our local businesses. So we're here as a resource. If you have a business that is, wants to learn about production and wants to do business with, the clients in film and television industry, we're here as a resource. We're so thankful to be here in Saugerties. We've been, received incredible support from, the town government and the community, and we're very excited to be here and members of the chamber. So thanks so much.
Having a mixer at River Studios or something clumsy, you guys can all check it out. So we're so glad you're here and you chose us in the Hudson Valley. Last is Aesthetic MD. Is Thea here this morning? I didn't think I saw her. So Aesthetic MD, we were there last week for a ribbon cutting. It's health and wellness. It's right in the Minetti and O'Connor building in Kingston, and they offer, listen to this, reverse aging procedures. It's an urgent care location. It's also, they offer COVID testing, aesthetics, various aesthetics, and that new drip IV, so you can get your boost of vitamins really efficiently. So we're very proud to welcome them. They are on the cutting edge of technology. Those are the members that have joined since the last time we gathered, but we do have a few new members in the room who I'm not going to ask to come up, but I am going to announce them and ask them to stand. Before I do that, I just have to add in one that's on my second page, who just joined this morning, Josh Summers. I'm going to ask him to come up. You're going to be hearing from Josh this morning, but he joined with Focus Media, so come on up, Josh.
I'll reserve my time for later.
Just tell us a few things about Focus Media real quick.
Okay.
Just quick. 20 seconds. Somebody time.
Well, Ward said I have an hour later. I have 80 slides. It's 15 minutes, I promise. Focus Media is around 20 years. We're one of the largest PR marketing firms in the state outside Manhattan. That doesn't help you much because all the big ones are in Manhattan. But we love what we do, and we do all types of stuff, marketing, PR. And one of the things that we're so involved with is working with the communities that have large-scale projects that need to communicate about the things that they want to do and combat misinformation. And Dan Ahaus and I go back 20 years working with Maurice when I first met him. And a lot of great history in Ulster County. We actually work with the Ulster County Tourism Agency for 6 years. So we love being here and look forward to presenting shortly. Thank you very much.
So if you could just stand up and wave, Modio Real Estate and Properties. There they are. They've been very busy. Thank you for being a part of the family. Welcome to your first breakfast meeting. Charles River Laboratories, John Denier. John, you're way over there in the corner. Good morning. Mid-Hudson Resources Association. We have Kelly Caldwell here. Good morning, Kelly. They're a non-for-profit organization offering HR services. Next, we have Mountain Float Spa, which is out of New Paltz. CEO Olivia Rodas is here this morning. And we have Winston Farm Development Project. The team here, John Mullen, Tony Montano, and Randy Richards. Before I step away from the mic and lose my spot, I do, Brianne Evil Whalen asked, we had a little something in the plans here. So do I have any singers in the room? Not one singer in the room, because I'm not going to sing. I can dance, but I'm not going to sing. So we'll spare. He's going to be really mad, but you know what? Life is too short not to celebrate life. So our boss here, the leader, look at him. He's celebrating another birthday on Saturday, so we thought, we know he loves carrot cake, and we thought that we would celebrate with all of you. We had this great breakfast meeting just to celebrate Lord Todd's birthday. I'm going to have to make a wish because I'm going to be in big trouble for this. But life is too short.
Thank you. You know, today is somebody else's birthday, not next week, but today, and so I'm going to save it for later, but it's a milestone for him also. Doug Sturgis, today is your birthday.
Wow.
Let's give you your cake for all of our children.
Are you going to try to make him eat your cake, some of your cake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, new members, welcome to the Chamber. Thanks for making a great business decision. I want to also say hello and good morning to our New York State Senator, Michelle Hinchey. Stand up and say hi, Michelle. Thanks for being here. She's everywhere. We have birthdays and some door prizes just before we get to our speakers. So let's give away some stuff. I've done for two at Mariners Harbor in Kingston for somebody else besides us celebrating a birthday. I have the certificate. We need to choose a winner. I need my glass. Darlene Bober! Darlene! Happy birthday, Darlene! Jim McCann Photography. We have some beautiful postcards or letters if you'd like to make. We need 2 business cards. Yes.
Josh, pick all the good people.
There's a lot of pressure.
So, funny story, Jim McCann joined years ago, a longtime member, and now he's kind of semi-retired and going to be a photographer for his retirement job, which is really cool. Good guy and a great photographer. And those are pretty cards. So congratulations, Steve DeSalvo, Nacarado Insurance gets one of those over that way. And Roger Weissman, Plug TV. Congratulations, Roger. We have a $25 gift certificate to the Emerson Resort and Spa. Michael Matone from MHB FCU. Congratulations. A piece of cake. Gift certificates to Xena Rec. It's their 50th anniversary. This is a great recreation spot. 2 guest passes for this coming year. We have 3 of those. And Linda Van Steenberg from Paper House wins 1. Linda. Carol Trevor Morris from Hell's Mortal wins 1. Carol, congratulations. And Lisa Mayone, Village of Saugerties, clerk. Congratulations. Sawyer Motors oil change. We have a couple of those. Thank you, Bob. Carissa Finch at Ulster Savings Bank. Ryan Nacarado, Hudson Valley Ambition. Well, congratulations. Oil change for Ryan. Tony, can we tell the story about the wine? How do we tell this story, Tony? Without embarrassing too many people. Tony always brings wine for us from the Italian American Foundation. He forgot it today, so he went over and he squeezed Tom's Missouri arm. And I just back until it hurt and asked Tom to donate a bottle on his behalf for you to win today from him and us. And that goes to Andy Mossy from Woodstock Land Conservancy. Congratulations, Andy! Two passes to the Mayfest on the walkway over the Hudson, a great resource right here in Ulster County. And we have 2 winners, including Kate Mitchell from Woodstock Birdcliff Guild and Greg Jarvis from the Canton Veterans. And from said Greg Jarvis, passes to enjoy a $30 gift certificate for the beautiful Canton Kiwanis Ice Arena. Teresa Mulkins from United Way wins one of those. And Wanda Grinder from Zerpro wins another. Over there. For Autism, Woodstock Chimes has a beautiful set of chimes for someone in our audience today. I think it will be Michael DeWan. Michael, congratulations. It's great to see you again. And we'll love you around. Thanks, Michael. Be well. What else?
Okay.
Oh. All right. We have from our good friends at Sawyer Savings Bank, we've got a blanket. We're going to be needing again soon right here. Along with a couple of baseball caps so we can wear them when we go to the Saugerties Stallions game so they can repeat this year. Am I right on that? Woo! Yeah. So congratulations. We have 6 winners. Alice Dickey from the Art Mid Hudson. Let's see, the Dancing Tulip Floral Boutique is a winner. Take that, please. Also, congratulations to Bridget Dupree from Hudson Valley Foundation for You Help. And Susan Light Cooper from Home Loan Consultant. Congratulations, Susan. John Finch, Ulster Savings Bank. And Deborah Dewan. We want to thank our breakfast sponsor this morning. We are so delighted to welcome Sawyer Savings Bank as one of our corporate sponsors. They have been such good friends of ours and such a wonderful part of this community. And so we thank them for their breakfast sponsorship this morning. They are sponsoring it to celebrate and highlight some new initiatives they've been undertaking. Founded in 1871, Sawyer Savings has maintained its continued emphasis on customers, communities, and employees. From their founding as a mutual savings bank and a shared office on Main Street in Saugerties, they've grown now into an institution, employing 45 team members with 4 branch locations in Saugerties, Marlborough, Highland, and now in New Paltz. Their philosophy remains the same today. They are here to serve their customers and to help their communities thrive. Shop local, eat local, bank local is more than just a catchphrase at Sawyer Savings. Small businesses and community banks are the heartbeat of any community. We took pains to schedule this breakfast meeting on a date of significance. In fact, it is, as we mentioned, the 60th birthday of the President and CEO of Sawyer Savings Bank. Please welcome Doug Sturgis. Doug, please come up.
So this is what it's like to be in your 60s, huh? Good morning and welcome to Saugerties. I will get to these things in a minute. Don't worry. We'll figure out what they are. Thank you to Ward. Thank you to Ward and the Chamber for allowing Sawyer Savings Bank and Sawyer Motors to co-host this event. We do have a long relationship with Sawyer Motors at Sawyer Savings Bank, and it went a little bit over the line recently when a mutual customer of ours came into the bank and came up to someone and apparently thought that Bob's last name was Sawyer and said, "Is this Sawyer guy so rich that he owns a bank?" But we do have a couple things going on at the bank that we're very excited about. We've established environmental committees, both at the board level and at the employee level. And we realize we can't solve climate change, but you also have to recognize that it exists. So as long as we can recognize that and take steps to improve it, and if everybody takes steps to improve it, we can actually make a dent in this. So that's what we're doing in the bank. And this is a small part of that, because if you take this apart, it is actually a reusable straw.
Oh.
It's a metal straw with a cleaner. It's a reusable straw. So that was one of the ideas that came out of the environmental group. One of the other ideas that came out of the environmental group is a new is a new loan program that we've come up with. It's called the Eco Lock. Now this is a program that's designed to allow homeowners to make environmentally conscious improvements in their homes, like new windows, upgrade insulation, solar panels, geothermal. All these items would qualify for the preferred pricing on the Eco Lock program. You could even buy an electric car. If it's ecologically friendly, it qualifies for the Eco Lock program. So it's something that we're trying to do. We're trying to make more advances to helping the environment. So that's some things that are coming out of our committees. The second thing I wanted to bring up today is a project that's been in the works for many, many years at the bank. We've talked about this for a long time, and we finally got the right people involved and got everything set on it. And we're announcing today the establishment of the Sawyer Savings Charitable Foundation. We're very excited about this. This is going to be an organization that allows the bank to get out in the community more and be able to support the community in a bigger, better way. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the presentation.
We're delighted. We also have a great underwriting sponsor for the breakfast this morning. We invited him to come up and say a couple words this morning. Our good friend from Sawyer Motors, Bob Syracuse. Stand up. Bob?
You didn't tell me how much time I got. Wow, it's exciting just to be here, and most of all, I want to thank our partners, Sawyer Savings Bank, to let me be part of this event today, because it is special. It's special for Saugerties, it's special for my friends from Winston Farm, and I also want to welcome I'm proud to say that I'm a board member of the Saugerties Chamber of Commerce, and we have some of our members here. If they could be so kind to stand up and get recognized. Thank you. I know you're here. There you go. As you know, 3 people today come up to me and ask me to bring their good humor truck to their party. I'm thinking about retiring at Sawyer Motors, and I think I'm going to go full bore with the ice cream truck because it's a lot of fun. But I also want to, we have a couple good events. We have a good event coming here. The Saugerties Boys and Girls Club chapter is going to have their event here on, I believe, it's 13th of May, and I'm happy to say Ray Tarper and I will be the auctioneers. So please, if you ever want to come to an event and have a good time, just see us in action, because we'd like to have a good time. Also, my friend John Mullen is having his fishing derby coming up on May 7th. And also, if you have grandchildren, you have little kids that want to take part of a great fishing day, come up to John Mullen's Day. It's wonderful. I'm also going to have the ice cream, the good humor truck up there to give away free ice cream. But most of all, I want to thank everybody, and I also want to thank, again, the big project that's going on in Winston Farm, because that is really exciting for our town. That is going to open doors to many different things to our town, and it's just going to make us bigger and better. With that, I want to say thank you, Ward, for letting me be a part of this again. Freddie, I just can't wait for you to get up here. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to record it. So, Michelle, thank you for coming to your sweetheart. Have a good day. Thank you so much.
Town Supervisor, I think is our village mayor here also, Bill Murphy. Did Bill make it today? Stand up and say hi, Bill Murphy. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Great relationship with the village board, the town board, and Saugerties, and they really are all part of making this region, this town in particular, so very business friendly. When we thought about doing this breakfast at Diamond Mills and talked about a topic, we did want to talk about celebrating Saugerties for all that it is and all that it's become over the years. I think of the hard work the town and village boards have done and their predecessors have done to make this first of all, one of the coolest small towns in America, right? We know this already. Absolutely. But that doesn't really talk about the history of this community. It doesn't talk about the character of this community. It doesn't talk about the pride that folks have in this town, and no disrespect to folks in the other 19 towns in Ulster County, but there is something very, very special and unique. We come here, I feel like we're coming home. We feel here as new business leaders, we come here, we feel as if we are welcome. And Saugerties really has raised the bar in that respect and made this a very, very special place here in Ulster County. And it really is palpable. It really is. You can feel the love that comes from the people and the business owners in Saugerties. Am I right? Yeah. With that in mind, we invite the Town Supervisor to speak and also the representatives from Winston Farm to find out more about this project. And if you would, at this time, please join me in giving a warm Chamber of Commerce welcome to Town Supervisor Fred Costello. Fred.
Thank you all. I'm so honored to be here this morning. What a great turnout and wonderful event. And I want to start by thanking Ward Todd, his staff at the Ulster County Chamber for making today possible, and Tom Schazeri and his family for also, and the staff here at Diamond Mills for allowing us to be here and giving us some nice food and putting this together. So thank you to both of you. We're obviously here to talk about Winston Farm, but I feel so compelled to share some of the other quick highlights of things that are happening here in Saugerties. There's so much wonderful activity going on that I would feel remiss in not sharing a lot of that with some of you who may not know about it. Our economy here is booming. We are thriving in a way that is unique. It is probably unprecedented since IBM left 20 plus years ago. And the change is diverse, so we're not beholden to one paradigm of economic activity. Things have changed. There are so many things happening now that we're diverse. We have different job opportunities and a broader menu of support. We still remember the technology influence that IBM brought here. Many of our residents still work for IBM or legacy companies that were part of IBM. But we have become a leader in the hospitality industry. We're standing here at Diamond Mills. Diamond Mills is one of the most noted event spaces in the entire Hudson Valley, and it will soon be joined by another event space of equal grandeur, the Wild Wick Resort happening down in Glasgow, and they're hopeful that they'll be open sometime next year. Those are transformative. They redefine the hospitality industry starting, and they reinforce the idea that we have become a destination. We're being rediscovered by folks that are looking for a place to vacation, and at the same time, we're being redefined as an area where people want to bring their businesses, operate their businesses, and grow their businesses here in Saugerties. So many of our resident businesses are in the process of expanding their workforce, they're expanding their plant operations, and they're doing well. And a couple of good examples are Cirrus Logic and Ellen Magnetics, who both are expanding their workforce and looking for opportunities to expand their warehouse, their plant operations. So that's really exciting for us, and we look forward to continuing to partner with them, continuing to grow. We're also been complimented by the hospitality industry by the introduction of the new Holiday Inn, a very robust short-term rental market in a downtown area with businesses that make it welcoming for people to come here from all across the country. So the synergies that go along with this are complementing each other and creating something really unique and really special. The town's recreation resources fit into this paradigm. Year-round, families and athletes, young and old, are coming to Saugerties to compete in hockey, baseball, softball, soccer events all throughout the year. And people are coming from far and wide. There will be events this summer in July where 140 baseball games will be played in 3 days. And the participants are coming from all over the Northeast to do that. And that's pretty extraordinary and notable and special. We have legacy events that bring tens of thousands of people to Saugerties every year. The Sawyer Motors Car Show, the Garlic Festival. Those events are signature events and hits. They bring tens of thousands of people here. They enjoy our hospitality, they enjoy being here, and we have a a number of occasions where people fell in love with the community as we have, and they have moved here, and they have moved their businesses here, and COVID has kind of accelerated those. So one of the challenges we do face is a housing crisis. For many of the entry-level positions that businesses can offer, there has become a challenge for those entry-level workers to find suitable housing. So that's a challenge that we have to work with our partners to address over the next coming months as quickly as possible. But exciting regardless. Canton Field is also the host of the Collegiate Baseball League champions now. They'll be defending their champion next year. And they bring tens of thousands of people in baseball fans, industry professionals from major league teams and minor league teams all across the country here to Saugerties. So that's very exciting as well. The retirement of Tom Thornton from the Orpheum created a little bit of uneasiness, and that uneasiness was resolved. He unfortunately has passed, but the Upstate Films has purchased the property, and they are reinventing how it's managed, and that is becoming a tool of economic engine as well. Young filmmakers, folks with the story that they want to tell, have become to use the Orpheum in a way that gives them the opportunity to share their work and extend their message, and that's really exciting to be part of, and we wish them all the luck in the world. Unfortunately, Mark Brunstein has passed. He was the founder of Marketech. Many of you in this room knew him as I did. His passing will leave a hole in many of our hearts. His company, Marketech, before he passed, he did the extraordinary thing of selling it to his employees. That gesture is notable. That company, as an ESOP, has retained its leadership position in the video supply industry, and it employs over 140 people in Saugerties. And for Mark to have that vision, I think Mark's courage is something notable too. He did that at a time when IBM was leaving us, and we were reeling from the impacts that had economically and socially, and he kind of put a stake in the ground, believing in our community and knowing that you can live here, work here, and operate a successful business here. And that spirit lasted, and he shared that and extended it to others. Laurent Reggio and Kevin Pickhock were influenced by Mark Brunstein in many, many ways. And one of the things that they both shared with me was Mark's belief that Saugerties, the Hudson Valley, could play a role in the film industry. And Laurent was running around talking about this when even the most optimistic among us were skeptical, to say the least. Who thought that Saugerties could become a hub in the film industry? Well, it turns out they were right. Kevin had the courage to keep his business open, to renovate the building on Thompson Drive and make it appealing. And Mary Stuart Masterson and Up River Studios found it, and they are here in Saugerties. We welcome them this morning as new chamber members. But the impact they've had on Saugerties is transformative, not just here, but for the entire part of Ulster County and into Columbia and Albany counties as well. They have 200 full-time employees. They have filming budgets that go into the millions of dollars of reinvestment in our local community, and we are just beginning. So the optimism that I see there, and we are all going to share shortly, is truly going to mean so much for our economic futures. And we're excited to welcome them and have them here. And I was glad I had an opportunity to reflect that Mark was a part of that. You can get ahead of myself. So that leads us to why we're here today. I know I tried to be brief, so I know I left a number of just tremendous things that are happening that I'd like to share. We can't be here all day. And but it does lead me to Winston Farm and the exciting opportunity that is before us today. But I think the best way to start that conversation is to kind of look back. The Hudson Valley was created by the glaciers. Yeah, I'm going back that far. and those glaciers receded, the native populations benefited from it, and we have benefited from that since then as well. When those glaciers receded, it left deposits of aggregates and clay on top of bedrock, and those created aquifers throughout the Hudson Valley that have benefited humans for thousands of years. And Native Americans who first settled in this area knew that, and they used the waterways as the highways and the roads to get these resource-rich areas in the Hudson Valley, and Winston Farm was one of them. You can easily see people navigating along the Hudson River, following the Silver Creek up to the Beaver Kill, following the Beaver Kill onto Winston Farm. That was fertile, opportunities for agriculture, abundant with hunting opportunities. The bark from the hemlock trees is really important in tanning leathers and furs. So there, you can see the natural progression of how the resources on our property were exploited, and the flint deposits that were used to make arrowheads and axe heads. So that we know that there's been a lot of archaeological study, and we know about the water resources. The Wynkoop family took over the property and developed it into a working farm and a trading post, and they welcomed George Washington here to Saugerties during the Revolutionary War, and that is also a notable experience. After the Wynkoop family had it, the Winston family took over. J.O. Winston was a really interesting individual in his own right, who operated one of the most successful construction companies at the time. And his influence on the Winston Farm property, his company actually built large components of the Ashokan Reservoir. And many of the improvements that he made still exist and are visible when we visit the Ashokan Reservoir. And those improvements are now 100 plus years old. So it's a pretty extraordinary feat of engineering. And they did that at a time when mechanical construction equipment was really non-existent. Mules and hard labor is what built those things. So it's very notable. But his hobby was to raise Guernseys. He had a dairy farm herd, and he housed that on Winston Farm. He rebuilt the mansion on the site that it is today, and he preserved the fields, and he used it as a dairy farm. The dairy farm building was a technological achievement of its day, and it's well documented. There are actually pictures in the senior center of that barn, and there are still some remnants of that barn in our area. He enjoyed the property for many years. It became his namesake, and as time progressed on, the Schaller family became the owners. The Schaller family used it largely as a hunting cabin and a recreational opportunity for them and their family to enjoy. During that period is when a number of start and stop opportunities for development came and went. I think to our benefit, many of those ideas is you benefited from because they were ill-advised or would not have been sustainable long-term. I think probably the only project that feels like maybe it got away from us was the siting of the Ulster County Community College on Winston Farm. Had the college been located there, it is widely believed that Columbia Green and Ulster would not have been built, and the geographic service area for that location right up through it would have been significantly larger. The menu of educational offerings would have been significantly broader than what the community colleges offer independently, but that feels like the one that got away. It's clear that Winston Farm would have been abused had it been the unfortunate siting of a landfill. I think it's also clear as time goes on that a casino there would not have been as successful as people had thought. The gaming industry is fraught with saturation of gaming opportunity, and even some of the legacy casino operators are struggling with revenues that are less than what those facilities were designed to support. So I think we got lucky in a sense that Jack Abramoff, the individual who was the lobbyist at the time, got in trouble just in time to not have that project come to Saugerties. So the challenges that we face with development are lengthy and long, and I think one of the things that there's a lesson there is this community loves that property, and we all share almost a fabled understanding of it, because many of us have never been there. I've been very fortunate. I've had a number of opportunities to be on and enjoy that property, and it lives up to its legend. It is an amazing piece of land. Its location is unbelievable. 800 acres right off of a thruway exit is unheard of. It is one of the most important pieces of property in the entire Hudson Valley, and that was one of the reasons former Supervisor Greg Helsmore was able to persuade the Hudson Valley Economic Development Committee to sponsor a study over what could be done with that property and what the community might want or might accept. That came after the casino project had failed. There was a lot of tension between the Schaller family and the town government because they felt that anything that they proposed was rejected by the town. And obviously we felt differently, and it spawned a dialogue that ended up being productive. We were able to gauge in that 2009 study, which is still available, and it taught us a lot of things. It did some preliminary studying of the property, but it also incorporated a series of strats that were conducted with residents, where residents could come and say what they expected from the property and what our vision for the property might look like. And I think many of the lessons that came out of that are still relevant today. It was clear that the residents wanted an opportunity for open space. It was clear that the residents wanted job opportunities. It was clear that the residents wanted some measure of housing opportunities there. It was clear that the residents wanted a measure of sustainability there. And we learned all those things through that process, and I think all those lessons are just as relevant today as they were in 2009. In addition to that, we also learned that the zoning that the property has, by right zoning, does not meet those community goals. The current zoning really enables a small commercial section and a lot of housing. We all agree that that is not the highest and best use of that property. So where does that leave us? At the time that that study was published, the next phase was to engage with the Schallers and other stakeholders to move forward and reinvent the zoning that would achieve those community goals. That never materialized, and that opportunity kind of sat on the shelf for a number of years. And what's different today is we are not having this academic conversation in a box with a group of stakeholders. We are having it here, we are having it throughout the community, and we are having that conversation with 3 individuals who put together the resources to purchase the property and share the hope and vision that I just expressed. They don't want to build a series of houses and develop a small commercial space. They agree that the use of that property is higher and better than what the zoning that is current allows. So they agreed to come to the town and ask for a planned unit development. So under that process, we would actually develop an alternative zoning specific for the acres that's been described. And within that, the trade-offs will be we can allow densities that are not necessarily densities we would want everywhere in Saugerties, but by using a density there, we can preserve open space, we can protect the aquifer, we can tap the aquifer for a comprehensive beneficial use for all of our public water users, and we can create sustainability by embedding in the zoning thresholds for higher levels of energy efficiency in the new buildings. We can create buildings that provide job opportunities and answer some of the housing problems that we have today. So this process, while it's intimidating and while it is fraught with potholes and while the legacy of challenges prior to does not automatically mean we're going to be successful, creates an opportunity that is unique, that is special to Saugerties, that we are going to do our best to capitalize on and work with the developers and the community and try to use the tension that exists to make something that people will come from all around us. And that is absolutely possible. The best practices in property development are fairly well defined, especially in the southern communities that are growing at a much faster pace than we are. And we can take the lessons that they have already learned and bring them back here. And I believe we can adopt some zoning that will allow for a project that we all think will be beneficial to Saugerties, that will meet those goals that came out of the 2009 study, have housing opportunities, have job opportunities, protect open space, protect the natural resources, and be sustainable. So I don't want to talk all morning. These folks have a lot to say. So I thank you all for the opportunity, and I'll talk to you again soon.
At the same time, yeah. So as already already met Josh. Josh is helping to lead this project and provide some of the discussion points. And we'd like to introduce the guy in front of Focus Media, Josh Summers. Josh.
So apparently the supervisor got my PowerPoint, so this is going to be a very brief discussion. And I apparently don't have to talk about water today, because you gave us a great education. But we will touch on that and a few other points. It's great to be at the Ulster County Regional Chamber of Commerce, and as someone that's been involved with many chambers of commerce and economic development agencies, it's wonderful to see a very strong Chamber of Commerce. And let's congratulate Ward and the Board of Directors on doing a lot of great things. Ward and I actually go way back. We were both in radio, and I was on Top 40 radio. What formats were you on? Talk radio?
Top 40 also.
Oh, we both did Top 40. So at one time Ward was cool, and at one time I was cool. So I'm not sure of the timeline on that. But this is a really great opportunity for Saugerties, Ulster County, and the entire region to do something very transformative. So one of the things I've been involved with for 12 years is Hudson Valley Economic Development Corp, Mike Oates. I was actually the first board member he recruited 12 years ago. And we know that this site is very special. There's a lot of history here, and it really needs to be, great care has to be used, but it is a very prime site to do positive economic development that's very balanced. And what's great about the owners, who I'm going to touch on, and I think that'll be very brief because most of you know them. Although I had to wrestle them and get photos of them, that was a whole other thing because they're that's not always their thing. But we're engaging the community. We're not saying here's what we're doing. Particularly, by the way, we're not doing an amusement park, which was something that was discussed. But we're asking the community, and we're engaging the community. What do you want to see? What type of economic development do you want to see? What type of housing? How can we meet the needs of Saugerties and Ulster County? So that's a really great process. Instead of saying, here's what we're doing in a box, and this is what you get, please approve this. And as the supervisor said, this is a conversation. There's great collaboration that can happen, and it's a very exciting process. So very briefly, 800 acres are on the site. We got a lot of the history there. We know the '94 Woodstock Festival occurred there. Certainly, I know not everyone can see the projection that well, so I'm going to tie to my nose a little bit more than I normally do. It was identified as a prime site by HVEC, as we noted. The capacity to fuel the economy. So I'm been involved with very important projects, Woodbury Commons expansion, Resourceful Catskills Casino, and their approval, also the Cartwright Water Park Hotel. It sounds like you guys are kind of happy about Monticello getting that, possibly. And also Legoland New York, which you may have heard. And these are transformative projects that have created thousands of jobs. I mean, literally $2 billion of development that's happened elsewhere in this region. And here at Winston Farm, you can create an economic engine that will create hundreds of jobs and hundreds of millions of dollars in positive development. So what's most impressive is the fact that they're looking to preserve 50%, 400 acres of the site, which is something that I know is very, very desirable. So here's an image of the site. I'm not sure if it really tells the whole picture, but I think most of us know at the bottom right is the intersection of 87, which makes it one of those prime sites, and accessibility is such a big part of it. Location, location, location. And certainly being close to Albany and the New York City market give a lot of opportunity. So we know the owners. I think most of us, Tony Montano and John Mullen and Randy Richards, who I've gotten to know the last few months, and really great people. Tony, born in Saugerties, raised a family with Cindy. If anyone wants to have a better spokesperson, I think Cindy can do this presentation a lot better than I can. But a lot of established businesses, really great people. Certainly want to touch on John Mullen. I've just learned about your event, so I'm going to have to come and do the best I can with that. Another business person that deeply cares about Saugerties, and that's something I'm going to expand on in a few minutes. And Randy, the American dream, another entrepreneur that really loves Saugerties, and they all very much want to make sure the right types of projects are cited here. So the vision, we touched on 50% open space. The current zoning provides for mixed-use development. And I know most people don't want to see an Amazon warehouse here. And certainly there's 80 acres that are available for certain types of commercial development, and the rest of the property is set up for housing. So let's find the right things. Let's have conversations about what we want there. There are local priorities that were identified as recently as 2021 with the comprehensive plan update. And Winston Farm is the largest single property owner in town. And goal 6.8 of that plan included that there were certain large parcels that citizens developed a vision for Winston Farm, including basic guidelines for use and development. So we very much are using that as guidelines for what we're going to do going forward. Local priorities, what does Saugerties want, and how do we base our plans on that? Even though we're having discussions now, what is some background to work off of? Be environmentally sound, protect the aquifer, which we're going to touch on, preserve open space, forested lands, foster job opportunities with livable wages. Ulster County is already working very hard throughout the county to do that, and we're hoping that this fits in with that plan. Generate tax revenue. Every town in New York needs tax relief, and being open, business friendly in Saugerties, this is just going to be another step in the right direction to provide breathables. And be historically sensitive. It's a very important site. That mansion's amazing, and we already know there's a lot of great work going on there. So the possibilities: public parks, wetlands, and trails for community enjoyment. I know there's a sledding hill that's very important on that property. I've heard that is going to be totally preserved and be important for the community. So that's really great news, right? And the Village of Saugerties public water system is currently supplied by Blue Mountain Reservoir. The plan, and there's been intensive discussions with the village, is for our site to feed water to the village of Saugerties and to become an additional supply. This is big news. And then in turn, Winston Farm would become a user of that new water system. So there's been preliminary tests. We feel very confident this is going to be a plus for everyone involved. Additionally, these owners, nor would New York State or the town of Saugerties allow this plan to go forward if there would be any negative impacts on the water supply. There's a seeker process, an environmental review process, State Environmental Quality Review Act that the DEC has set forward, and that is going to ensure this project will not move forward, but for the approvals, including water protection. Another opportunity is a wastewater treatment plant that could provide sewers for portions of Saugerties and certainly Winston Farm. I worked on another project, Belfield at Historic Hyde Park, which is across from the Culinary Institute of America. And they have a modular wastewater treatment plant, sewer system. So as projects possibly come online at Winston Farm, that can be added onto. So it's a very innovative way to move forward. Belfield and Hyde Park is doing some great things. The possibilities. So once again, no amusement park. However, one of the cool things I had the chance to work on is the Cartwright Indoor Water Park Hotel. And I know there's another model, Great Wolf Lodge and some others. That's certainly a possibility, but this rezone will give us a variety of things that can happen that will create jobs and give the town and, of course, Winston Farm flexibility. Multi and single family housing. Ulster County needs that. The whole region needs that. Shared water and sewer infrastructure to create an environment where more companies and jobs can come here. An amphitheater, how great would that be? And once again, these are just possibilities. Boutique hotel resort, agrihood technology park, that's a whole other seminar that we can do. Commercial and camping. So these are all things that we're looking at, and the market, once this zoning is potentially approved, the market will determine the type of interest. And there certainly is a lot of interest in that site already, but this rezone will provide the opportunity, again, for flexibility and for the town to determine what it wants. Potential benefits, housing improvement. Okay, we did that. The other thing I wanted to touch on is besides the generic EIS, environmental impact statement, that Winston Farm is doing, each user, so let's say it's an indoor water park, will have to go through its own environmental review. So there's multiple redundancies for the town to weigh in on, and that's a very, very important point. So here's where we are. Preliminary site master plans and documentation is in the works. There is going to be a very thorough environmental review that'll happen with the town board as lead agency for this rezone process. One of the initial steps will be scoping. Scoping is where the community weighs in, the applicant weighs in, and they determine what's going to be studied. What's the traffic study going to look like? What's the water study going to look like? And what's wonderful about that process is it's not done in a silo. It's done. The community has a chance to weigh in. So that'll be probably the very first public hearing at the town level. So we're looking forward to having many more types of conversations with groups like the chambers. We actually have already chatted with the Saugerties Chamber and other groups. So you're one of our first, though. So we definitely want to hear from you. You're very important to us, and that's going to be very helpful in our process. So next steps, we're going to continue to collaborate with the town, and particularly the Village on Water. The secret process will happen, and that will be, as I stated, a very important and extensive process. And then we're going to go through, finalize the planning and review process. So a reporter asked, well, how long is all this going to take? It's going to take as long as it needs to take, because we're going to do it right, and I'm sure that the town board as lead agency would have nothing different. So really, in conclusion, we have 3 property owners with families here that are really going to do all the right things. And if there's ever a question about water or traffic or whatever those mitigation things might have to be, they want it to work, but there's also an environmental review process that will ensure that all the right things are done. So very, very proud to work for Winston Farm. I actually have not worked with a group of developers that want to do a listening tour first before they say, this is what we're doing, these are our plans. So to me, it's very, very impressive. I couldn't be more excited to be part of the team. And Winston Farm's a very special place, and I know they'll use great care. So thanks for listening, and thanks to the supervisor for giving us all that history and background and the strong statements to this. So thank you.
All right. We just ask the 3 gentlemen to just stand and be recognized and say hi, and thank you guys so much for what you're doing. I know you're done. A couple minutes, if there's a question or two, Josh said he'd be willing to try to answer them. Almost, this is so early in the process, but glad to try if anybody has something that they would like to ask. We've got a minute or two. If not, thank you all for coming. Josh, thank you so much again. Appreciate it very much. We'll stay involved in the process, and we'll keep you apprised what's happening. We want to end by thanking our sponsor again, Sawyer Savings Bank. What great partners of ours, and our good underwriting sponsor is Sawyer Motors. Reminder, join us next week. We're at Mac Fitness. If you'd like the network, this will be it. And then our breakfast meeting in May back in Kingston. Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks for coming.